Hi, I'm Pastor Yuri Brito of Providence Church in Pensacola, Florida. One of the questions that we receive quite often has to do with eschatology. Eschatology refers to last things. In other words, what happens at the end of history? What will happen to the church in the next 30, 50, 1,000, 2,000 years? These are questions that theologians have pondered for quite some time, beginning the patristic era and up to this very point in 2022. And these are questions certainly that evangelicals and Protestants and Catholics will debate for ages to come. So we're not offering a perfect solution, but we also believe that the church ought to have an objective understanding of these things so that she can offer the proper hope for the Christian. After all, if we're expecting an imminent return of Jesus at any moment, that will affect our piety on earth. If we believe that Christ is coming 1,000, 5,000 years from now, then there's a future orientation the Christian must prepare himself for. Throughout history, there have been various positions in eschatology. Providence Church and our denomination, the CREC, the Communion of Reformed Evangelical Churches, hold to a position called postmillennialism. Now, postmillennialism may sound a little bit strange through the years, but it has been held by notable theologians in the Reformed and outside the Reformed faith, men like R.C. Sproul or Lorraine Bettner or B.B. Warfield, maybe familiar names that upheld to this position called postmillennialism. Now, what is postmillennialism? Postmillennialism has as its biblical grounding three fundamental features. First and foremost, it believes that Christ will crush the head of the serpent, and that this is a historical reality that will take place in time and in space. In other words, we're not waiting for some future victory of Christ, but we believe that Christ is winning now the warfare between the seed of the woman and the seed of the serpent. But not only is that sufficient to ground postmillennialism, but there are other affirmations, and in particular the affirmation given at the end of Matthew's Gospel in Matthew 28. That says that all authority in heaven and on earth has been given to Jesus, who commissions his disciples to go into all nations, baptizing them in the triune name and giving them and proclaiming the commandments of Jesus. For lo, he is with us now, even to the end of the age. We have the authority of Christ, which is in heaven above and in earth below, and his commission that we disciple the nations of the earth through the sacraments and through the instructions. That provides for the Christian a certainty that what Jesus promises is not so much an expectation that this might or might not happen, but an objective certainty that this will surely take place because he has the authority in heaven above and in earth below. Not only does Genesis 3:15 play a fundamental role in establishing the postmillennial hope, not only does the Great Commission establish a fundamental role in establishing the postmillennial hope, but there's also a component that we need to add, without which the Christian gospel is lost. And that is found in Romans chapter 12, when Paul exhorts the Christians to offer their bodies as a living sacrifice unto him. Now, on the surface, that may appear just as a standard language of personal piety, but there's more to that. Because the Apostle Paul is developing a greater argument. And the argument is that if the church does not offer herself individually and corporately as living sacrifices unto God for the sake of the world, then there is no hope for the faith. But what Jesus tells us, Jesus does not ground our hope in worldly or political ideologies. He grounds our hope in the worship of his holy name. And the Christian church comes alongside that glorious hope and worships the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit with the sure expectation that Christ is all in all and that he is recreating civilization through the lips of children and of the aged and through men and maiden. And he is recreating society as we know it, cultures and civilizations, through the voices of saints, now and in the age to come.